I would like to appeal to leaders within Liberia to unmute themselves. We realize there are so many despicable things that are happening within our country today. People are being murdered, and it seems it is acceptable, or it is becoming acceptable within our communities and our country. That is something that is so scary because we talk about the safety of Liberia, whether Liberia is safe. And the fact of the matter is, from what I see from a distance, it seems that is not the case. Our president needs to unmute himself. There are so many things going on in Liberia, and he's not speaking about it. He's not talking about it. As his vice president stated, once upon a time when they were talking about ritualistic killing in Liberia, she said, "I'm only learning my voice." I don't think learning your voice is quite sufficient to curtail things that are happening in Liberia that is not right. You all need to speak out. If things happen, if things goes wrong, you need to come to the forefront and speak out. Nowadays, we realize and are watching, a group of men gets together, go to a church house and disrupt the services. That is unacceptable. You cannot do that regardless of your political stand or what people... We claim that Liberia has freedom. We have freedom of speech. Liberia is not a aristocratic government that we are running, or a dictatorship government. People should be free to express themselves. But when a person expresses himself, a group of people gather together, go to where they are, and then do what? Disrupt whatever they are doing. It happened there in Monrovia at Prince Johnson's church. I know people might say whatever they want, but we should realize whatever they want to say about Prince Johnson, whether he's a murderer, he fought war or whatever. There are so many people in Monrovia today and in Liberia, or even out of Liberia, who fought war and are still alive. And even looking at the vice president of Liberia today, her husband was the one who brought war to Liberia, but she's the vice president. So why should people gather together, go to someone's church house or even their gathering or convention and disrupt it? Is that a form of freedom? We as Liberians need to rethink our positions. Because if we have a leader who is so mute, don't say anything when things goes wrong in our country, that is not a leader. For a typical example, if you are the head of your home, you are the husband in the house, and the kids do whatever they want and you just keep quiet, it is stated that silence means what? Answered. So if you as the leader keep quiet, you are muted, or you mute yourself, and when people are being murdered, freedom is being curtailed from those who must speak the truth. There are so many things. There are no jobs, just things are not working out. If you are a politician, you need to get out there and speak out. You can't keep silent. When people are hurt, they are talking about no food, no electricity, no water. Things are going bad. You need to come up and reassure the Liberian people that they should be patient. In time to come, things will be better. But we don't hear these things. We just seem not to have even a leader in Liberia anymore. We don't. And that is not right. Because if we don't speak out, things will go in disarray. Because we have no leadership, and there's no leader to keep us in check. You need to speak out, Mr. President. Because that's one of the fault I hear a lot. And I've gotten to realize that it's true. It seems like you love traveling out of Liberia, and there are people that work with you who claim when you leave the country, you bring in money, and that is not the thing. Going out and bringing in investors, that's what we want, not begging and bringing in money. And the money that comes in, we don't know where it even goes. But my main point here is, if you are a leader of a country, you need to speak out. You must speak against those ill of the country. There are people in the country doing whatever they want because the leader is mute. The leader is mute. How can you run a country when you can't talk? How can a deaf or a bobo run a country when they can't hear or they can't talk or run anything? Because of a writing, I don't see it. So I'm appealing to the leadership of Liberia. You all need to speak out, speak up about things that are going wrong in our country. We need to reassure our people that things will get better. Even if it won't get better, you need to reassure the people. If someone is killed, you need to go on air and denounce such thing. If people go ahead and disrupt church services and whatnot, you need to go on air and denounce those things. Criticize them. Condemn them. You can't just sit mute and don't say anything about what goes on. And because of that, people think that or feel that they have the right to do whatever they want. You don't want people speaking against you, but people can do whatever they want. That is not right. Liberia must be a law and order country. Or countries that is safe for people to go to. There are so many people out of Liberia today in the diaspora that wants to return home. There are people living in the States and other countries that are building houses in Liberia today, but now they are afraid. So it seems like all of their investment is wasted. But I surely and fully believe if our leader could speak out against things that are not right, even try to build on the security system of our country. The police is definitely not equipped. The military, we got what, 3,000 or less and military soldiers that we have at the barracks? What can they do? We don't want to be plunged into civil war once more. We don't want to be plunged into a situation that will be more difficult for us to get out of. We want to be safe. The Liberian people want to be safe. So we need a leader who will protect us. A leader who will be there for us. A leader who will speak out on our behalf. A leader who will speak out against the ills and condemn those things that causes chaos and division within our midst. We don't want a mute leader. So I will say this. Liberians, think twice before you choose your next leader. Don't just choose a leader because you feel the person is popular or the person did something or whatnot. We don't see it. Most of the thing that is being built in Liberia today was from Ellen Johnson's Sirleaf government. So I want you all to look at the situation within our country. Look at the situation. People are suffering. There are no medication in hospitals. Things are just going completely disarray. We are retrogressing. Liberia is not improving. Things are getting bad every day. And instead of us having a leader who will encourage us, assure us that he's doing the best he can and things are going to be better, it doesn't seem that way. But rather to tell us that the people wanted me here. So what is it telling you, Liberians? I don't want to be here, but if people want me here or they put me here, so for that reason, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to be quiet. In fact, it seems like he's more eager to travel out of Liberia than to even be in Liberia. Every little invitation or whether there is no even invitation, he gets up and leaves the country. I know when people speak against the ills of Liberia, there are those who are angry and insult you and tell you, oh, you're putting out Liberia to the public, the bad of Liberia. No, that is not the idea of putting out the bad of Liberia. It is the idea of letting us Liberians know that things that are happening in our country is not right. It is not good. We can't continue to live under such suppression and oppression. That is not what it's all about. We need to live in freedom, and we need to be assured that things will become better in the future. But if we have a leader who is muted, then it becomes more frightening. It becomes more scary. People cannot trust such a leader because you never know what he's thinking or what's going to happen. You can't do that. So Liberians, let's think twice. Let's pray about our choice. And let's give someone who have not worked with the government. Because, look, the Liberian government is corrupt. We need someone who have never worked, who is not part of this, group of people who have led or ruled our country in the past. We need a new breed, somebody who will step up to the plate and then be able to bring changes because they were not involved in those things that happened in years past. So let us look within our own selves and in our hearts, among ourselves, and choose the right person. Somebody who say, I am the change. And we should believe that that person could be the change. But if we don't give them the chance, then we are only fooling ourselves and we're going to continue to suffer because these people who are part of the establishment, they already know how the establishment is run. We need somebody that is out of the establishment. Someone like Alexander Cummings, someone like Dr. Clarence Monuba. These are the people we want to be president of Liberia, or we should choose to be president of our country, Liberia, this struggling little country. Let's step out of the establishment. Those who are within the establishment, they are corrupt. They want to continue to suppress Liberians and to continue stealing. But let's take somebody who is not part of it and have never been part of it. And I believe that Liberia will be a better country. Liberia will rise again.